successful. Her greatest success, of course, was her family. The smile that she had when she saw her grandkids become far in this life. That too lit up the sanctuary. How proud she was of all of them. She adored Paul. She loved her children and grandchildren with her entirety. In about a moment, I'll come and share some of their favorite memories. No doubt they'll talk about what a fabulous cook she was. I know someone will say, well, some of those dishes were better than the others, so who's counting? But it was her indomitable strength of spirit that worked through every challenge, every up and down. She was the rock. Even when Paul was diagnosed with dementia, she took the lead role. Just as she always had. Hers is a light that will continue to shine in the hearts, the minds, all of you. Said, when I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me, for the people I've known or have loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not just in your mind. Then love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Because love doesn't die. People do. So all that's left of me is love. Give me away. Gary's going to come up and read the first passage from the message that 10 is put together. So, then we'll do it. I'm going to share. Her son is there with the mom, and then Gary will do it.
Thanks all for being here today. We as a family appreciate it. I'm off. I don't know. So they were not able to make it from Texas. Summer. So it's fine. My mom loved in a way that was unique to her. She wanted everyone she held close to know how special they were to her, and went to extra lengths just to show it. I look back on all the times with my mom, and the times that really stand out are all the home cooked meals. Grandma's pretty kitchen. The ones from childhood to most recently. The Sabbath meals my mom, dad, and I shared together. As a child, she used to let me go digging through her clothes, and I never really understood how important that was and how amazing it was until now. She didn't have much growing up, but she gave us the world. She worked tirelessly to make sure we grew up knowing we were loved, Gary, David, and myself. My mom will be missed, but I know she's just on the other side with Dad, smiling down on all of us. Thank you.
Thanks again for being here today, everybody. I was talking to Charlie and Shelley last night. Talked to you all for 3 or 4 hours. Maybe a few days. She was an amazing lady. She was our mentor. She was our fashion consultant, our advisor. She was our travel partner, our decorator in all of our houses, our overall cheerleader. She's amazing. Had a problem, she was available. needed advice about something, she was available. Wanted to make herring, she was always available. Never really understood that one. Got a text from a cousin of ours, which kind of summed it up. Her cousin Danielle. She wrote, Paulette was a powerhouse, always a smile on her face, so elegant and kind to everyone. It's really how we feel. Growing up, she instilled the words, comfortable never produce greatness. From the time we could barely walk, till recently. So you want to be ordinary? Don't work very hard. That was her thing. And she was right. Mediocrity was just not in her vocabulary. She taught us that whatever we wanted to accomplish, we could, we just had to put our mind to it, had to work a little bit harder. She was encouraging. When I was in my senior year of high school, she said to me, I said, Mom, listen, I want to go see if I can play basketball at Cherry Creek High School. And most parents with a son that's 5'5" would have said, are you nuts? She said, great, let's go, let's get to work. Went out, tried out for the team, sort of made the team, wound up not making the team. The best news was that I had just met Shelly Dragul at the time. So she followed up all the time that I was playing basketball. It was now Shelly Dragul. It was great. She was a woman that every day was about honesty and integrity. Every day, every minute of her life. She came from humble beginnings. And when her father died at age 13, she worked and went out and bought a sewing machine. And because she couldn't afford clothes like the other kids at her school, she made her own clothes. To this day, we still have the sewing machine in the house. What do you guys think? I'm joking. She valued the most important part of life, integrity, honesty, hard work. So another time when I was growing up on Cherry Lane Drive, she made a beautiful home for us. And I was 16 and I was going to Colorado Academy, and she made us make our bed every day, she requested, but then made us. And along with that, we had to clean up our room and hang up our clothes. We had to have respect for the things that we owned, clothes included. And, after a few bouts with her, and I left my clothes on the floor a few times, she said, listen, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. So that day, went off to school, I tossed all my clothes in the closet, I shut the doors. My room was beautiful. Came home that night, went to put on some other clothes. There was not one pair of pants or shirt hanging in my closet. Nothing. It was empty. I was startled. I went to her, I said, Mom, what happened to all my clothes? She said, I'm sure that there's some kids out there that really need those clothes. And if you don't have respect for your things, I think that we need to give them to other kids that need them. For the next 6 days, I would go to school, I came home, I washed my clothes, I dried them, I put them back on. Went back to school. After the 6th day, I said to her, I can't keep doing this. This is crazy. She took me out to her car, opened up the trunk of her car, she had all my clothes in bags, and she said, if I have your commitment that you'll have respect for the things that you have, you can hang them back up, but they better never touch the ground again. She was amazing. That's a lesson I will take with me forever. She taught us how to cook. She taught us how to clean. She taught us how to be nice to people. She taught us how to say thank you. So, first off, Selena, Rosa, Lise, Yemi, Netsu, Susan, the Marcouche family, Sean, the person who helped drive them around, and my dear family. Thank you all very much, and thanks for being here. It's been a tough couple of months, and glad she's not in pain anymore. And I hope that she bumps into Paul pretty quick. Tell him hello. Keep dancing. Thank you all for being here.
So, Mom, how do you properly pay or honor, respect, homage to an individual that's had such the largest impact on your life over the past 60 years? In just a few minutes. I thought you did pretty great. Paul and Paulette were about Yiddish terms. So I'm going to start with one that I think defines my mom. Balabusta. A Yiddish term that means the perfect housewife and mother. She's the fearless emotional center of her family who makes sure her table is not only full of gorgeous food, but also full of friends, love, and laughter. That was my mom. That was Paulette, almost to the very end. Every time I'd go to see her at her house, she would be in bed, maybe asleep, not having a good day. And I'd walk in and she'd wake up and she'd say, "Can I give you something to eat?" That was her, almost to the very end. And that was her. One thing you always knew with my mom was where you stood, good and bad. My mom was fiercely loyal to the people she loved. She was always ready to make her point clear to anyone, especially as it related to her family. She fiercely defended everybody. And of course, I can't leave out politics. That was her trademark. Now, I don't want to make this a political funeral, even though that's probably what my mom would have wanted. So she always loved a good political conversation right up to the end. If I came in to see her and she was sleeping, as soon as the word Trump was said, again, this is not a political funeral, she would wake up. And then finally I told her Donald Trump won and she sat up and started clapping. Now, again, don't be offended. They say a mother's love is like no other. Paulette's love was like no other. Her level of commitment and sacrifice for her family was constantly evidenced throughout the 60 years of my life. She always took the hard road. She put my dad through medical school. She was there when we had medical challenges. She was there always, and she always took care of everybody. She always loved everybody. And she may have that hard conversation, but she would do it. When she was 60, she became a real estate agent here in Denver. And I think what made that journey so incredible was she had macular degeneration, and she would sit at her computer trying to eke out a contract for a house, and she was very successful at it. Even up till the end when she stopped being a real estate agent, I would come in there and see her fighting her eyesight issues and still pounding out contracts. And that was her. She would always take, as you said, comfortableness never produced greatness, and that's where she would go. And she did that as a real estate agent. I think the last thing I'd like to share has to do with, I was in a high school play, part of a theater production, 3-day event called Brigadoon. And at the end of that, my mom gave me a card. And the card said, "Someday, David, you're going to touch the stars and we'll be there to applaud you." Well, as I stand before you today and enumerate all the special qualities of my mom, I'm here to applaud you as you enter heaven and stars and to acknowledge you for what you've done for us as a family. Somewhere Harry and Rose and Paul are very proud of you at this moment. Thank you. Thanks for letting me share.
As Gary and David mentioned, Paulette was blessed to have some just remarkable people to take care of. And I think Selena, you spoke also when Paul passed. I'm share now.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if I can speak in the same way because they're totally different. With Paul, I have many memories. As the same with Paulette, I have many memories. I met Paul and Paulette like 3 years ago. I had the pleasure to feel welcome and the family. They opened their doors of their house for me as the same as their heart. They showed me what is real love because I never, I swear, never saw a couple like them, like real marriage. For Paul, always what Paulette was, it was the more important. For Paulette, the family was first than anything. Her husband and her kids. If her kids was good, she was happy. I will never forget Paulette walking hand by hand with Paul, sleeping hand by hand. I will miss them this winter because I will not have anybody invite me to sleep in their bed like they do. When she touched my hands, she said, "Come over, honey, you're freezing. Move, Paul. Selena's going to sleep with us." Which I did. And then she said, "Honey, you're hungry. Feel free and go and find some soup." For Paulette was always family first, which she was making me dinner, like holiday dinners, even if it was not a holiday. She said, "We need enough chicken, enough soup for all my family. My family and the kids are coming, and I need you to help me." Paulette was very smart, and we can lose any of their appointments, any, except for her beauty shopping. So every other Thursday she gets manicure and pedicure, her appointment. Even if it was not a day, she said, "We need to go." I said, "Mom, it's not a day." I said, "We need to go." It's okay, let's go. I have many stories, and I can tell everybody how loose I feel myself without them. I don't feel myself yet. After 8:30, I drop off my daughter in the school. I say, "God, what am I supposed to do now?" I miss my people because I call them all the time, my people. Thank you so much, just Dragul family. Don't leave me alone in this moment. I really feel lost. You.
To come to the end of our journey, we'll share with me on page 3. To life in the sacred book. Birth is the beginning, and death a destination. But life is a journey, a going, a growing, from stage to stage. From childhood to maturity and youth to age. From innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing. From foolishness to discretion and then perhaps to wisdom. From weakness to strength or strength to weakness and often back again. From health to sickness and back, we pray to help you. From offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, from grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat. And no looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not in some high place along the way, but having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is the beginning, and death a destination. But life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage, made stage by stage, from birth to death, to life and last. They mention the life that she has. He said that God animates us with the neshama, with the soul. And though our body is mortal, our soul and the shamot are part of God's eternal creation. So it is, there's a prayer that we recite both here and then again at the cemeteries to keep these handouts with you. And it makes reference to her neshama, or Hebrew. That's about Sviya V'Roch. And it says, Yitzro B'Zohar Chayim Et Nishmata. That her neshama, her soul, is bound up in the bond of Chayim, of life that God created, but also Chayim, the living. She lives on with those who will remember, will honor them. As we chant this now, it's on page 4. Would you please rise? Esavat spiale v'rocho shalachar olama b'kamedam yenuchata v'chen marachmim yastireha sedekarafa b'olamim Yitzror achayim v'nishmata Adonai Kol nachalata v'tanuach b'shalom Ishkava v'nomar Amen. We say, God is always full of compassion. We pray that you will grant perfect peace and eternal comfort in your sheltering presence through the soul of our beloved Paulette. God of mercy, protect her neshama from her soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. Adonai, you are her portion. May she rest in peace. Let us say, Amen. You see, for just a moment, there are words that you share, prayers that you decided. We just want to close out with on the meditation, which is quite moving. It's always. Each of you will remember for whatever way, think of it, honor it.
Times you'll find that you are feeling weak. Right next to me, I'll hold you till you fall asleep. At any time of day, there's nothing to explain. Always on your side. I'll steal you our hardest days. Don't be afraid. You'll have me here to guide your way. Through storms I will fear. You will not disappear. I'm always on your side. I promise I'll see you through. I'll be right there to on to with laughter and promise I'll be always on your side. At any time of day, there's plenty to explain. I'm always on your side.
In about a moment, we will rise as we escort the physical remains of Paulette to their homes. Please take these along because we will have again the restoration of MLA. The cottage is recited at the cemetery. And then following that, the family is gathering with at Paul's home.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our service here at Temple Sinai. As the Rabbi mentioned, we'll have interment at Emmanuel Cemetery within Fairmount. We do have an escorted procession today, so if you'd like to join us for interment and in that procession, we'll ask you to return to your cars as quickly as possible. Please don't delay with conversation in the foyer or in the chapel. Try to get to your cars, have your hazards on. That will help the escorts identify you as a participant in that procession. And we're going to start lining up using the southeast exit of this synagogue's parking lot. Those who are not going to the cemetery, if we can ask you to delay returning to your car, enjoy conversation in the foyer, and allow those who are going to the cemetery to start lining up. The last request is please refrain from coming in and speaking with the family, express condolences. It will delay their process in getting to the cemetery. If you run into them in the restroom or in the foyer right here, please allow them to do what they need to do so that they get back to their cars. At this time, we'll ask you to rise as you are able, and I'll invite the pallbearers forward.
Family, we say, I'm a holy that the total hour relates to your Yerushalayim. May God comfort you all the more. Sign and truth. אומר, מama, כל מצב, חציר לחוק,
towards the casket.
נווץ חציר נבצת, כרוח אדוני נשפחו. לכן חציר יבץ חציר נבצת, ודבר אלוהינו יקום להם. עצור פעמים הורו כפודר המשנה, אל ולאי אב, צדיק וישו, עצור צדיק נכון פעם. ויאמר לו מה תבחר, ויאמר ראשון יד, עצור צדיק נכון. ויאמר לו מה צדיק שב יד. Yeah. I know. You remember what happened 6 years ago? Exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Good to see you. Didn't work, huh?